Let's talk about Seberg then, because we saw this together a couple of days ago.
We did. It was our first date of
First date of 2020. Oh, first date.
I came in, I was like, "Hi guys, how was your Christmas?" Okay, shut up. We're going to watch something about someone that nobody knows who she is.
Did you have that as well? Because I wasn't overly familiar. I mean, I knew who Jean Seberg was, but I didn't know.
I mean, to be honest, French New Wave cinema was beyond me at that point as well.
Have you ever seen Breathless?
No, I haven't seen Breathless,
Or the
but
remake?
I do know. Who was in the remake?
I think it's Richard Gere, isn't it?
And was it called Breathless?
It was called Breathless. I
So,
believe,
okay,
yeah.
it was a straight remake then.
Mark Kermode famously prefers the remake to the original, which
Excellent.
incidentally is how I feel about the Italian Job. But controversial take.
Nice. Okay. Well, Kristen Stewart is playing the role of Jean Seberg.
She is.
So it's based in the late 1960s. So this is a kind of a microscopic take on a certain part in Jean Seberg's life. So what happened was she became the target of the FBI due to her support of the civil rights movement, and also she became romantically involved with a Black Panther
Is it
activist.
Hakeem Jamal, I think his name was. Something like that?
Yes, I left that out because I forgot the name. As the surveillance basically tightens, and it's actually what happens is essentially the FBI have taken it to an extreme with their level of surveillance. She finds that her life and career basically spirals out of control, and she's not able to trust anyone.
You swing by in your limousine, open your legs and your checkbook, and you think that gives you the right to anything you want.
I only ever wanted to help.
Well, that doesn't make you a better person. That makes you a tourist.
To defame somebody who speaks out against their government is a type of persecution.
You run around with a handful of nails looking for a cross to die on.
You deserve to know the truth.
Woman has her secrets.
There's a couple of ways of looking at this. For me, it's one of those films, I think if you learn about someone new that you're not too familiar with and you end up going off and Googling about them afterwards to try and find out, mainly to see whether or not Kristen Stewart looks exactly like her.
She's not a bad likeness, actually.
No, it's
not
a really,
bad.
really good likeness, yeah. And she plays the role really well. I think that kind of element of a movie is interesting. What I think it was lacking was artistic license.
Well, I don't know. For me, it just never seemed to get interesting enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the story is fascinating. I mean, the story of how they set out to just absolutely discredit and ruin her, and the sort of understandable toll that then takes on her. First of all, I think Kristen Stewart's brilliant. I think
Yes.
she's genuinely great.
Yeah.
But she's better than the film. She's way better than the film.
Well, this is the thing, and I think we've discussed this before, is I think Kristen Stewart, Jack O'Connell, Vince Vaughn, they all signed up to this project thinking, you know, it's a life story, it's, you know, it's someone...
It's got Oscar written all
yeah,
over it.
doesn't it just... it just doesn't take off, like you say, it plods along.
Interesting thing about this premiered at the Venice Film Festival last year. What happened at the Venice Film Festival last year? Joker debuted and dominated the conversation.
Yeah.
So this sort of got buried under Joker, effectively. And when you see the two films side by side, it's not hard to see why Joker would overpower this, because it's so surprisingly lifeless film. There is obviously an intention to go quite deep and introspective with it.
So there were things that I thought it was missing. I thought it was missing a tussle between the FBI agents over what was morally right versus what you know was being done, and then I thought it was missing the artistic license of having one of the FBI agents, particularly Jack O'Connell on this, having a romantic interest in Jean Seberg.
Yeah.
Because we saw a glimpse
There's
of
a
it.
hint of it, yeah. And there's a great scene with Margaret Qualley, for instance.
Yeah.
Andy McDowell's daughter, by the way.
I
Did you
know,
that?
she's really good in it.
Now, that's the thing. You say, talk about good in this. Jack O'Connell. Never liked Jack O'Connell in anything before. Always found him a bit one note. Seems he found a second note. So,
do you know what?
Well played.
He plays the kind of 50s, 60s like husband.
G-man.
Yeah, but he's kind of like alpha male, but he's still got a heart to him. It's a good balance.
Just doesn't quite work. And I think the third act, it does race for the finish line as well, because it spends so much time sort of waffling and there's a lot of plot that it just sort of casts aside, that when it gets to that third act, it's like, oh, we need to do this plot now. And the third act just feels a lot faster paced than the previous two.
There's a lot of chat about what the Black Panthers would do in this, but you never actually see them do anything.
Although Anthony Mackie I quite like as...
he was very good. This is the thing. This is a film which has got a great cast.
Go on, Meanie. Go on, Meanie. Love me some corn, Meanie.
It's got, it's got all the elements that are needed towards having a really solid movie. It just never takes flight.
No.
And this is the big problem with it. And I think for that reason, go and watch it on a Sunday afternoon if you're kind of interested in it's not necessarily at cinema, don't pay to go and watch this. I hate saying that about movies, but you're going to waste your money, aren't you?
Well, you are. This is, again, it's yet another case of a great Kristen Stewart performance that's only going to get seen by 5 cardigan wearers and the people who frequent your local art house cinemas OAP discount day. For me...
Hi.
1 thumb up from me. What are you giving it?
Yeah, I'm going to give it 1 thumb up as well.
Yeah.
It feels like there could have been so much more to this to get your heart racing, to get it competing with Joker at Venice.
Yeah, definitely.
There could have been so much more.